Nawa sa di. I-off sa kalihok. Kana? I-off ba ang kana? Okay, Mr. Secretary, Majority Floor. You already have a quorum? Okay. You already have a quorum.
Hapon sa tanan.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our 69
Ihay lang
regular session
ko ang charger na ko charger sa kwarto.
is now called on to order. Please to stand. An invocation by Councilor from District 2, Councilor Maria Lourdes Gaani. Mayong hapon kanimo.
Mangapon ka natong tanan. Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Loving God, Holy One, your desire is for us, for our whole wholeness and whole well-being. We hold in tenderness and prayer the collective suffering of our world at this time. We grieve precious lives lost and vulnerable lives threatened. We ache for ourselves and our neighbors, standing before an uncertain future. We pray, may love, not fear, go viral. Inspire our leaders to discern and choose wisely, align with a common goal. Help us to practice social distancing and reveal to us new and creative ways to come together in spirit and in solidarity. Call us to profound trust in your faithful presence. You, the God who does not abandon, you, the Holy One, breathing within us, breathing among us, breathing around us, in our beautiful yet wounded world. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Councilor Maria Lourdes Gaani, and for the singing of our national anthem. And for the Cagayan de Oro March, Okay, maayong hapon sa tanan. Good afternoon to each and everyone. To all the regular members of the 19th City Council, good afternoon. So okay, as I saw our new member. Ah, good afternoon, Ma'am Jing Moagad. Advance congratulations to you. Merry Christmas. Ah, welcome to the 69th regular session of the 19th City Council. I think also far from right is also uh, Miss Maria Cecilia Casino Rivera is around this afternoon. Mayong hapon kanimo, madam, and advance congratulations. Maybe you can join with us. Councilor George Guki, can you pitch her up and escort her to her bagay sad, oh? Mhm. Mhm. Sabay biso-biso sad. Dalaga og ulita, oh, pwede sad. Mm. Ah, welcome and good afternoon. Uh, uh, thank you. Such a Councilor George Cooking, such a just like 18 roses from Debutante way back years ago during his heydays. He is very well. He already expresses animalistic behavior at that time. Councilor George Goking, thank you for as you escorted our guest this afternoon, and so as our confirmation this afternoon, no other than Madam Maria Cecilia Casino Rivera, and so as Miss Jasmine Maagad. Ngayong hapon kaninyo. Anyway, at this moment, Mr. Secretary, can you do the roll call and determine if we do have a quorum this afternoon during our 69th, nagbali-bali, oh, our regular session this afternoon. Can you do, please?
Good afternoon, Mr. Presiding Officer and all the members of the Sanggunian.
Mayong hapon.
Honorable Rene Joaquin VOy, City Vice Mayor and Presiding Officer. For the First District Councilors, Honorable Edna Dahino, Honorable J.R. Pascual, Honorable Roger G. Abaday, Honorable Saldi O. Ocon, Honorable George is Goking, Honorable Ruben Ardaba, Honorable Lodan G. Swan, Honorable Romeo V. Calizo. For the Second District Councilors, Honorable Joylene Mercedes El Balaba, Honorable Maria Lourdes Isgaani, Honorable Ayan Mark Yunakaya, Honorable Suset G. Magtahas Daba, Honorable Rodolfo E. Lau Jr., Honorable Enrico E. Salcedo, Honorable Jocelyn Rodriguez, Honorable Edgar S. Cabanlas. For the ex-officio members, Honorable Yan Lam Islim, Liga ng mga Barangay President, and Honorable John Michael Alceno, City Iski Federation President. There is quorum, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Arturo de San Miguel, may hapon kanimo. And advance Merry Christmas to you. And so as your beautiful fellow public servant, dili na daw. May hapon kayo. So as the lady at the back, may hapon and Merry Christmas. May hapon. So, at this moment of time, Majority Floor Leader, Ayan Mark Kiblat Nakaya, our Majority Floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
May hapon kanimo.
Mayong hapon po. Thank you for the podium. Na-deliver again.
At last. Okay. Our very own secretary. At least he always keep on follow up the supplier, I think, at least for a year around.
Plus the wall digital clock, Mr. Chairman. We
Okay.
already have that last week.
Ah,
Thank you
the
very
whole
much.
clock in the podium.
Secretary.
And so as our Christmas tree, oh.
Oh, from
Ah.
Carla and her
Carla.
staff.
Can you count how many gifts
Uh,
do we have in the in the plenary?
zero again.
Ah? Oh. Well, the council is zero. The gift? How many?
Three.
Three.
According to the
Okay.
chair of the finance committee. To our colleagues also, and nakaswat ka din niyo. Uy, Miss Maria Cecilia C. Rivera.
Mhm.
And of course, to Miss Jasmine Maagad and friends from the media, fellow Cagayanons, maayong hapon. I move, Mr. Chairman, to dispense with the reading of the minutes on December 7, 2020, and to consider the furnished its copy to the members the reading itself.
Properly moved by the majority floor leader. And second.
Second.
Correction.
Yeah.
There is none. Hearing none. It is hereby approved.
I likewise move for the approval of the said minutes of meeting.
For its by
Second.
seconded.
On special
But,
report,
But majority floor, before we
Okay.
proceed, I would like to, we have also a visitor this afternoon, Mr. Joel Behilla from the congregation and from the Media Network International. Am I correct? Okay. Okay. Welcome to our 69th regular session. May hapon,
welcome.
Sir Behilla. Okay.
On
And so as our media friends from Magnum and so as uh, Bombo Radio and so as the other media who is around, maying hapon kaninyo and this plenary this afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Majority floor leader, you may now continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On special report, we have Councilor Romeo Calizo who would like to render a report on his observation as regards the SAP distribution. And this representation, Mr. Chairman, would like to render a report on the use of technology on to pursue our intention to have no physical contact, even with technology, Mr. Chairman. So may we ask the chair to recognize Councilor Calizo first?
Okay. Our lone special reporter this afternoon.
I will be reporting after.
Okay. Okay, Councilor Romeo Calizo, our first reporter this afternoon.
Thank you, Mr.
You have the floor.
Presiding Officer. Good afternoon to you.
May hapon.
Good afternoon to my colleagues, to include those who are physically absent, but attending the session as well via Zoom. To our guests at the gallery and to all Cagayanons, may hapon kaninyong tanan. Mr. Chairman, my special report is just but a simple observation. On last Saturday's distribution, I think this is the second tranche of distribution of our special amelioration fund. This brought about by the frequent calls by some of our constituents who, according to them, should be recipients of the said stuff. But I will focus my report on what had happened in Barangay Patag because it was there where I observed the distribution, Mr. Chairman. Last Saturday, the actual list coming from CSWD for the supposedly recipients of stuff is at this figure, 1,019. So the list was submitted to Barangay Patag and there was a pre-validation. So the validated list went to 750. But when I took a look at the list, I said there are still some recipients who are disqualified because they're members of the 4Ps. 4Ps in Patag, numbered to about 35, are in the list. So all in all, it's supposed to be recipients numbered to 711. Result, only 252 coming from the two distribution points, because they divided the distribution considering that 711, if it will be in one location alone, it might take a long while before it will be finished, considering the process that and the system that they're following in the distribution. So what happened is there are two venues, one at the daycare center and one at the covered court of the barangay. And out of the 711 supposedly receiving, only 252 received. So, question, why is it that we are requiring, or we are informing our people to go to the said venues for distribution of stuff, if and we are giving them false hope, waiting there for long, yet they were not able to receive? Mas maayos siguro, Mr. Chairman, right away, they're disqualified. Ay, natupad tuon kay wa man gyapoy madawat. Now, if after validation of the barangay and they're supposed to be qualified, ano di man nato ihatag? We should make our barangays a little trustworthy. Eh, di nata mutuo sa atong barangay, why are they there in the first place? So, second, there are some other questions, Mr. Chairman, because of inconsistencies. One, Enrico Rabuya, who died last July, dili na siya qualified ko, no? But this went inconsistent to another Mr. Dalapag, who died last year, nadawat sa anak. So, which is which? Another question. Can those listed in the recipients list who got imprisoned, makadawat pa ba? Now, ug makadawat, kinsa may angay mo dawat, and what are the requirements? So, ako na lang i-shorten na, Mr. Chairman. Is there really a need for us to legislate and prescribe an appropriate system that should be followed by CSWD in the distribution of staff, if there's any yet comes year 2021? Kaya murag maka-diminish man gud sa atong credibility if we require our constituents to go to the barangay, line up, show them the list, expect that they're receiving something, yet when they go there, it turned out that they are already disqualified. Or if we have already the system, do we need to conduct some legislative resolution requiring for training for those who distribute and educating our people that these are supposed to be qualifications of the supposedly recipients, and these are the requirements that you need to present in the barangay once you go there to receive your stuff. So, this being the case, Mr. Chairman, can I refer the matter to the appropriate committee? I think it should be on the Committee on Social Services under the Honorable Girly Balaba for appropriate action. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to all.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Romeo Calizo. Well, in addition for the special report, Councilor Roger Abaday, may hapon kanimo. Councilor.
Thank you very much,
Honorable Presiding Officer, Vice Mayor Kikang, Premier Uy, of course, my colleagues in the 19th City Council and those who are listening us today's session. Now, I listened to the press con this morning, and I think Maricel is present now, and Mayor, addressed to Mayor Moreno, with regards to this issue, which is reported by a good reporter, Councilor Calizo, with regards to the listing or recipient of this SAP. Now, I heard that, overheard that,
This is SAP 2.
yes,
Am I right?
Yes,
SAP 2. Okay.
this is another bus din eh.
Oh.
Now, the listing, I heard that it was the DILG who evaluated this recipient. It's no longer the barangay and other agency. And they have delegated it to the city for corroboration of the distribution. So, many barangay captains and I think Patag also so complain that why is it that it is not true course to the barangay captain or to the barangay official with regards to the distribution and the listing of the recipients. So that's what I got during this that information with chairman. So perhaps there was a miscommunication to those people because everybody wanted to receive it. So lessons in the past that there were recipients who are not supposed to receive because of indiscriminate some indiscriminate listing of listing of recipients. So that's the reason why the DILG has initiated their own to really evaluate or we call that what we call that those who are really recipient for this distribution, which the councillor, I think with that councillor Romeo Calizo has related to the report, Mr. Chairman, of Councillor Calizo. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Roger Abaday. Well, I maybe from the first SAP distribution, it's just like the same problem that we encounter. So I think for the qualification of the SAP 2 is to those who are not listed in SAP 1. I think that could be the first requisite about the SAP 2 for this distribution. So we have to realize that the reality when it comes to distribution, no matter what the amount or no matter what the kind or goods that they want or they receive, well, there is still a problem at all. So, in addition, do you have any opinion? Councilor John Michael Zeno, you may now.
May nga hapon City Vice Mayor, Vice Mayor Joaquin Kikanguy, Majority Floor Leader Ayon Marty Blat, nakaya members of the 19th City Council, friends from the media, fellow Cagayanons, may hapon kanatong tanan. Siguro na apay una no nga pwede nato may address kaya na magyugi pang appeal ani sa SAP 2 atong na under sa granular lockdown. Pwede sila makadawat pag-utro. But the problem is some of our barangay captains kay pagkaibalo nila nga ma-appeal atong na-appeal sa granular lockdown na ay ihatag na SAP 2. Ang problema kay wala pa daw nakunkur sa IATF. Now, the people naghandom sila nga matagaan pud. And just for the information, of course, the listing that the city have given to the barangay, one of their basis is the result of our community-based monitoring system or the CBMS. Below 100,000 ang yearly income, moto sila ang mga na-appeal. Ang ikaduha ma-appeal katong na-appeal sa granular lockdown. mo na siya ang gatan-awon pud karon nato kay nganong dugay kayo ang result lugar sa dugay kay ang pagkonkur sa regional na kung atong sabton based on our experience na ay specific time no nga ay hatag dapat ang money para sa mga beneficiaries. And di kani karon na pagpanghatag no nag-create na pod og another problem sa ato ang mga barangay officials kaya ang ato mga barangay officials gyud kasagara gakalusdukan ani. Sila magiuna mapangutanan. And that is why this representation if Councilor Calizo is amenable, we would also this should be a joint committee to the Committee on Barangay Affairs and Committee on Social Services, considering that the frontliners are kung dili magid na matubag dia sa mga trabahante sa ato ang CSWD, sa DSWD, ang always good kapaninglan ang atong mga barangay officials. Ug dapat mahibalo gyud dapat sila sa pagtubag. So thank you Mr. Chairman. That's all. May hapon.
Okay, thank you, Councilor John Mike.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair.
Okay. Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez. You may...
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everybody. I would like also to address this issue to our very own Councilor Gurley Balaba. Actually, the barangay wanted that there should be an early submission of names sa barangay because they still have to recheck. Kay gadubli-dubli na ang ngalan and the beneficiaries and they do not have enough time to check on these individual names. Ang ako lang unta, this can be addressed upon so that ug i-post na sa mga kapitan or sa atong council, makita ng listing which is the final listing because they cannot post nga wala pa gyud ang final listing kay inigala nila mga suko mag-away na pod. So hopefully this can be addressed nga earlier mahatag na ang name so that the barangay can recheck where there is double entry. Like for example now with Barangay Nazareth, daghan ang double entry. If they have enough time, ilag yung maayo nga ma-check no kay because tomorrow mo na sa distribution, I think tomorrow, pero over 100 na ang double entry. So ako lang request for the good councilor nga mahatagan ang listing sa barangay earlier and they will be given enough time to check para pag-post nila, that is already the final listing na ilang i-post sa barangay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez. Well, the list is coming from the DSWD. I just want to clarify, maybe some will pointing out their fingers to the local government unit or CSWD wing in distribution. But this SAP2 is the list is coming from DSWD. Region office, uptown. Okay. So, is there any other wants to say something about this special report coming from our reporter, our first reporter, no other than Councilor Romeo Calizo? Okay, as we wish. Thank you. This matter will be deliberated and investigated as wished by Councilor Romeo Calizo, our reporter, that should be, and so as will be joint investigation from the Association of Barangay Captains President, no other than Councilor Yan Lamlim and the committee chairman on social services, Councilor Joylene Mercedes Balab. It should be a joint. Okay, our second reporter. Do we have one?
May I proceed,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman? Thank you.
No other than Majority Floor Leader Ayanwar Kiblat Nakaya. Maayong hapon kanimo.
Mayang hapon sa subli, Mr. Chairman. Mayang hapon, Doc. Wala si Councilor Eric, Doc. Matubag yun. Anyway, last Saturday, Mr. Chairman, one security personnel of the City Economic Enterprise Department was brought from his house to the CIU of the city. And it was tested, and he was tested positive. Process of elimination as to where the source of this COVID, Mr. Chairman, would lead to two things. At his residence, and the other one is the growing number of employees as an aggregate of CED and more than 40 RTA personnel using the same biometric machine, Mr. Chairman. In the past, we have passed a resolution that was authored by Councilor J. Pascual that we should dispense with this biometric because there would be change of thumb mark and print coming from thousands of employees using this machine. It was expanded positively by the chief executive, and only morning and 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and 5 o'clock schedules would be required for the employees to use the machines. At any rate, let me go back to the CED employee, Mr. Chairman. They're very strong that someone might be asymptomatic because not one in a few months or many months already, Mr. Chairman, that an employee was caught by this virus. Not one in CED because the protocol and the measures and the interventions, non-pharmaceutical at that, were pursued. And we have this QR code. I am very curious as to the technology because I am fan of this type of movement and development of our use of technology. Considering, Mr. Chairman, that we only use the QR code. Let it pass, and you are already in. You're already automatically inputted into the data system, according to the city secretary. When I asked Councilor Maria Lourdes Gaani as to the use of the QR code by the malls, if they are using internet, it would be connected and thrown to the server of Cagayan de Oro City Hall. In other words, there's no need for a line or concrete connection between all the network in Cagayan de Oro, both public and private establishments. Just the internet connection. So if this is the case and it can be done, Mr. Chairman, why not we replace this biometric machine with the mode of QR code for employees' evidence that he or she is present at the time when he logged in using a QR code. If there are any cases similar to that, no physical contact, even with machines, Mr. Chairman, I am most agreeable and I am proposing that we should endorse that. Because even with the process of elimination, if the issue is not within the family or the neighbors of this employee, so then maybe the biometric machine that transferred due to thumb marking of that employee and of those hundreds of employees using this biometric machine, Mr. Chairman. So at the proper time, may I propose, Mr. Chairman, that we endorse to the chief executive, to the city administrator, that it's about time that we should also use QR code for purposes of logging attendance, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Majority Floor Leader Ian Mark Kiblat-Nakaya. Is there any regular members for their reaction or an opinion regarding the special reporter? There is none. Hearing none. Okay, at the proper time, Majority Floor Leader,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
this moment of time, go now to the call to the orders of the day. Majority Floor, you may now proceed.
Thank you. On agenda proper, we have one proposed resolution number 2020, that's 255, confirming the appointment of Ms. Jasmine T. Maagad as City Treasurer, City Government Department Head 2, with all rights and privileges pertinent thereto. May I move for the approval of the said resolution, Mr. Chairman?
Properly moved by the Majority Floor Leader. Any second?
Second.
And we have Ms.
Objection?
Maagad, Mr. Chairman, for her appearance.
Okay. Can you
Move to suspend the rules to allow non-member to participate.
Okay, the suspension of the rules. Okay, Madam Jasmine Maagad, mayong hapon kanimo. Please do stand and be recognized to with all the rights and privileges.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Mayong hapon
To the
kanimo.
to the 19th Council headed by Rene Wakinoy. I am Hasmin Maagad, 37 years na ako sa city government.
37.
And the appointment of the city treasurer, duly signed and issued by the Secretary of Finance. With accordance to Section 470 of the Local Government Code of 1991. So my appointment by signed by Secretary Carlos Dominguez of the Secretary of Department of Finance. Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations, Madam Jasmine Maagad.
In other words, Mr. Chairman, she is stipulating that the office of the city treasurer is under the office of the Department of Finance.
Yes, sir.
And in fact, the confirmation of her appointment is to be confirmed by the Department of Finance. But at any rate, because of this letter and appointment issued by the city mayor for us to process, she is appearing, giving us courtesy of this pending measure, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
Well, there could be a joint obligation and a responsibility, since also included involvement of the chief executive. There is a civil service law. I think that there is an appointment coming from the chief executive, and then with the concurrence of the
Finance.
so there could be a joint. There is an appointment and there is a concurrence, confirmation from the city council. So at this moment, you have possessed what all it takes. So you have what all it takes to where you want to be. So
Yes, sir. Thank you,
congratulations,
sir.
Madam Jasmine.
Thank you, everybody.
30 seconds.
Yay!
37. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, 19th Council.
Okay. Congratulations, Madam Miss Jasmine Maagad, our city treasurer of Cagayan de Oro.
If there are no more questions, Mr. Chairman, may I move to lift the suspension of the rules?
The suspension is lifted. We now proceed, majority floor. There
The
is
pending motion is for the
pending.
approval.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. Objection?
Second.
There is none. So resolution number 2020-255 is hereby approved. Congratulations. Let's give
Move to dispense second final reading.
let's give him a round of applause. Okay. For its finality, moved by the majority floor leader. Any second? Second.
Second.
On item number 2, Mr. Chairman, I skip na. Number 3, diretso po eh. Ato sa grabe nga labis.
Isa.
Proposed resolution number 2020-256, confirming the appointment of Ms. Maria Cecilia C. Rivera as City Information Officer, City Government Department Head 2 with all rights and privileges pertinent thereto. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor leader. Any second? Seconded.
Mr.
Objection.
Chairman,
For her
Objection.
appearance, Mr. Chairman, may I move to suspend the
Objection. I
rules?
think majority floor, there is an objection coming from Councilor George Goking.
Mr. Chairman,
For second, di mo. Okay. I think you are objecting. As I mentioned for the objection, you raise your not just your right hand but both of them. Sabi ko, mas baka gisugutan ni.
Okay.
Dapat utang ni. Kaya na may objection.
Move to suspend the rules, Mr. Chairman.
Anyway, the suspension for our rules.
May we request Miss Maria Cecilia C. Rivera. The first question would come from
Confirmation
Councilor
number
George Goking.
2.
Ha? Maayong gabi hapon
For
sa
this
tanan.
afternoon, confirmation number 2.
Maayong hapon,
No
ma'am.
other than Maria Cecilia Jacinto Rivera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good afternoon sa tanan microphone
hapon.
nga akong atubangon kini akong gakulbaan nga microphone man. Ito. Lagi. Good afternoon to the distinguished members of the Scientific City Council, and thank you very much for allowing me to submit myself for confirmation in this august body. And I hope and pray that you will consider. Thank you, sir.
May we ask
Okay.
Councilor Goking to respond to the
Okay, comment. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman, Ms.
Councilor
Rivera is
George
my
Goking. Okay, before Councilor Saldiocon, I have to hear first Councilor George.
one
Sure,
statement
Goking.
lang, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Si Ms. Maricel Casino Rivera is may binata sa
Well,
kasal.
Mm.
So kanara, I'm trying to
But for the history of the city council, wala pa gid sukad nga naay nag-propose dani sa kamulong sesyon. Hey, history lang ha. History lang.
suspended ng atong kwan.
Wala pa sukad.
Salamat, Mr. Chairman.
Mas hindi ay. Okay, thank you Councilor George Sio Goking.
Thank you, Councilor Goking.
Okay, Councilor Saldi Ocon. Mayong hapon kanimo, Councilor.
may hapon, Vice.
Mayong hapon. You
I have
the-
nothing to say. I have nothing to say with Ma'am Maricel. Congratulations, and you continue your service. The people of Cagayan de Oro, just not for this only this administration, but to the next administration to come. Thank you.
Okay.
Salamat kayo, Councilor Saldi.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Saldi Ocon. Majority floor, is there anyone to...
Sada itong bulak ni Pari Saldi, oh. Sa likod. Hey!
Pare,
Anyway, if there are no more
Sagasaan.
questions from the members, Mr. Chairman,
Uh,
move to lift the suspension of the rules.
Thank you, sir.
suspension is lifted. You may now
Thank you
proceed,
very
Majority
much.
Floor. Well, there's not yet. There is a pending...
Wala pa, wala pa. The pending motion is for the approval, Mr. Chairman.
properly moved and seconded. Objection, since there is no objection after all. Resolution number 2020-256 is hereby approved. Congratulations, Madam Miss Maria Cecilia C. Rivera, our new City Information Officer of Cagayan de Oro. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to both of you.
Move to dispense with the second final reading, Mr. Chairman.
For its finality, seconded. Okay.
Congrats, Sel. Tubagon kay kani Councilor Seno nga sa 21 na ba napa may session. Anyway, number 3 and 4 omnibus motion, Mr. Chairman, for being similar measure. 3, proposed resolution number 2020-257, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay number 5, the city, its ordinance number 2020-10-002, series of 2020. 4, proposed resolution number 2020-258, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay Kauswagan, the city, its ordinance number 2-2020, series of 2020, covering the respective supplemental budgets number 1 for calendar year 2020 with their respective estimated incomes, with information that said ordinances are operative in its entirety. Move for the approval of items 3 and 4, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved with the majority floor. Any second? Second.
Second.
Objection. Objection. Hearing none. Joint proposal properly moved and seconded. Resolution number 2020-257. Resolution number 2020-258. Objection. Hearing none. It is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality.
Second.
Seconded.
Same omnibus motion for 5 and 6. 5, proposed resolution number 2020-259, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay Balulang, the city, its ordinance number 2020-01, series of 2020. 6, proposed resolution number 2020-260, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay Lapasan, the city, its ordinance number 01, series of 2020, covering the respective annual budgets for calendar year 2020 with their respective estimated incomes, with information that said ordinances are operative in its entirety. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved.
Second.
Seconded. Objection. Objection. Hearing none. Hearing none. Resolution number 2020-259. Resolution number 2020-260 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Second.
For its finality and seconded.
7 is proposed resolution number 2020-261, returning to the herein enumerated barangay councils, the city, the respective barangay ordinances covering the imposition of fee for the issuance of barangay clearance for business permit or construction permit at the rates specified therein, with information that said ordinances are operative in their entirety. 1 to 21 barangays, Mr. Chairman. Kompleto ng 80. This will complete the 80 barangays.
Okay, properly moved.
Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, properly moved by the majority.
Second.
Any second? Seconded. Objection? Objection. Well, I just want to clarify about this resolution that we take. As we observe, all in all, from Barangay 1 to Barangay 80, it is already exists. This is an existence of the collection for the regulatory fee in every barangay. But this resolution is not emanate from us. As you observe, all of the barangay is coming from their respective council, barangay ordinance. As I heard about a while ago that this resolution is coming from the city council, which is not true. We are not the one, even we cannot amend this. We cannot amend this resolution or any barangay ordinance. This is coming from different barangays. Dili ni nagikan sa tuwa sa city council. As we heard from different radio station or different personalities, nagikan ni sa matag barangay. So igo lang ta nagibuhat nato nga allowing ang City Hall nga mo'y mukolekta sa barangay regulatory fees for their respective barangay clearance for their construction permit o business permit. So mao lang na gikungkur lang nato. Di po nato maamendahan. kay barangay ordinance man ni siya. Gani na ay matag barangay naa na ni nakabutang ang ilahang mga ordinansa. Number, date, tanan-tanan. So dili ni nagikan sa city council. But for requested ato lang ni siyang review for our approval. Kay tanan ordinansa aprubahan man sa city council. Pero nagikan gini siya sa matag barangay. So there is a pending proposal coming from the majority floor and second. Councilor Romeo Calizo, is that an objection or just want to expressing an opinion or
Just a point
know,
for clarification, Mr.
or
Chairman.
just a clarification?
For Barangay 1, it's stated that in their barangay ordinance, they'll be exacting 500 pesos for a business permit and 1,000 for construction. Does this mean that the issuance of the barangay clearance is equivalent to the permit that they're issuing? Or if
Well, just a barangay clearance.
if an applicant applies for a clearance for a business permit, it is 500, and if it is for construction, it is 1,000. Is this what it means?
Yes.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Anyone to add something about this resolution? There is a pending approval. There is a pending approval.
There's no objection, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Well, you have your point, Councilor Romeo Calizo. What I just want to clarify about this barangay council number 1, barangay number 1. Either a good wants to clarify. There is 2 collection fee, 2 rates. Okay. Not uniform. So it depends upon the barangay ordinance that they pass. Okay. So there also a clarification coming from Councilor Edna Dahino. The barangay council of barangay 1 has 2 fees.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to my
Hapon.
fellow councilors. I just would like to ask the author the number of what page is. Does it mean the 500 pesos a business permit and 1,000 construction permit? Does it mean 1,500 the city will collect?
No,
May I
depends if they both apply for it.
because the other barangays did not put here clearly on how much should they collect for their business permit. 1,000 gyapon. So meaning to say 2,000. 1,000 lang. Di na ako maklarify.
Okay.
So
But
there
you
are 2 clearances that you
Ah.
should get. So meaning to say, kung there are 2 clearances they should get, the 1,500 from this barangay 1. And the rest is 1,000 lang. 2,000. Okay. Thank you.
But this is not coming from us. It is already existed in the barangay level.
So Mr. Chairman, it's very clear nga 2,000 tanan business permit and the construction permit.
If they want to apply for both,
Okay. Thank you.
it depends. So this will be a barangay ordinance. It is not coming from us that we draft for this resolution. So objection? Objection? Is there any? Okay, they want to add something, Councilor Romeo Calizo.
As I have observed in the literature in the respective ordinances, Mr. Chairman, it was not clear whether that 1,000 is for one for business permit and one for the application of construction. It should be clearly stated in the respective ordinances that there should be a total of, let's say, if the application requires for the construction of a building or a structure, there should be two clearances that they should be
yes, that is true.
securing.
That is true.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, because there are some barangays for asking, is it really a maximum of 1,000, 2,000? In the case of Barangay 1, it is 1,500 for both the construction of the structure and the application for the business.
No,
I think it should be clearly lagi.
Lahi. Lahi siya.
Yeah. That's my point, Mr. Chairman, and that should be all uniform in all barangay ordinances in the expression in their literature, so that it will be clear to all. Because there are some misconceptions or misinterpretations of the respective of the ordinances that have issued, Mr. Chairman. Some say they only exact about 1,000 as the total. So now comes Barangay 1, 1,000 for the construction and 500 for business. So it should be clear, Mr. Chairman. That's only my point.
I think that
Thank
is
you very
already existed in different barangays for the collection. So, okay, Councilor Roger Abaday.
This is in connection with the questions of some of our colleagues, Mr. Chairman. Now, barangays are already autonomous, no? They can, especially in the levy of taxes and collection of regulatory fees, that is on the discretion of the barangay to collect, for as long as it will not exceed to the required under the law. Section 152 of the Local Government Code, the barangay can impose taxes and fees or charges. In the case of Barangay 1, they are imposing a collection, clearance, and what is that? Clearance, and they are allowed. I think they are allowed, Mr. Chairman, because under their power and their authority, Mr. Chairman, as the LGU, fees and charges, they can collect clearance for any business or activity within the barangay. So, barangay clearance or a clearance for any business or any activity like construction or like other mga promotion diya sa barangay. So, they can collect for as long as it will not exceed required under the national law. So, in the case of barangay, I think it is reasonable that they collect impose the minimum requirements determined for collection. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Roger Abaday. There is a pending proposal. Okay, Councilor John Michael Zeno. Lastly.
Ngayong hapon, subli, Mr. Chair. Just a manifestation that I hope the barangays have really complied with the requirements stated under Republic Act 7160 on barangay consultation on this matter. Because perhaps there are some barangays that on the previous, their business permits may be 100, 200. But right now, na may ceiling of 500 to 1,000. I just hope that all barangays have really complied with the public consultation, because this would really affect the business sector in their barangays. Thank you, and ngayong hapon.
May happen. Okay, pending motion, properly moved and seconded. Objection, objection. Hearing none. Resolution number 2020-261 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense with its finality.
Second.
Second.
This should be the product of ease of doing business from trade and commerce. It just bitipok na lang ni sila para makulikta tanan sa City Hall para mas gaan o komportable sa negosyante.
Move to dispense second final reading.
But that will be okay for its penalty and seconded.
Second.
8, Mr. Chairman's proposed resolution number 2020-262 endorsing or objection to the proposed redevelopment of the existing SMC. Its new building, North Wing Building, with pedestrian overpass by the SM Engineering Design and Development Corporation, represented by Ms. Bernadette May De Flores, Mall Manager, SM City, Cagayan de Oro, located at Pueblo de Oro Business Park, Barangay Carmen de City. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor.
Second.
Okay, I'm sorry. Seconded and seconded. Okay. Objection. Objection. None. Resolution number 2020-262 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense.
Second.
Number 9 is proposed resolution number 2020-263 expressing the city's gratitude to Dr. Francis Tays A. Simini, PhD, Dr. Horacio S. Factura III, and Dr. Dennis A. Ampuan, PhD of the Center for Inclusive Development Studies, University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines, USTP, Cagayan de Oro City, for conducting the research study on the poverty alleviation program of Cagayan de Oro City for fishing and farming communities. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved.
Second.
Amendment, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, majority floor.
Actually, the presentation of Dr. Dennis A. Apuan has nothing to do with this. He only presented during the Joint Committee of Agriculture and Fisheries, Mr. Chairman, to report an update as regards the new campus at Barangay Balubal. So may I move to amend, instead of Dr. Dennis Ampuan, we include the USTP system president himself. We thank him. Dr. Ambrosio Cultura, Mr. Chairman, or a separate resolution for himself, Mr. Chairman, considering that his noteworthy undertaking for our projects in Cagayan de Oro on research have been positively provided for the APO and for the two committees we have, Mr. Chairman. So move to amend, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, that could be when the amendment, since our majority floor is the one is proposing. So any seconded as amended, there is a pending approval. Is there any objection? 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 Hearing none. Resolution number 2020-263 as amended is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality. Any
Second.
Perhaps, Mr. Chairman, for additional item, we also thank Dr. Dennis Apuan as regards the opening of a college in Barangay Balubal, and together also with the USTP president and the USTP chancellor of Cagayan de Oro. At the proper time, not at this time, Mr. Chairman. Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality.
Second.
Seconded.
Number 10 is proposed ordinance number 2020-198, approving the application for simple subdivision project William B. Nuneza, represented by Mr. Sabinanio A. Trazuna, covering lot 1, 138 square meters, and lot 7, 163 square meters, PCS 10-005190, with a total area of 301 square meters, containing 2 lots located in Barangay Bulua, the city, subject to the conditions imposed by the City Housing Board and the City Housing and Urban Development Department. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor. Any
Second.
seconded. Objection? Objection? Hearing none. Ordinance number 2020-198 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality.
Second.
Seconded.
11 is proposed ordinance number 2020-109, providing for the streamlined guidelines for the issuance of permits, licenses, clearance and certificates for business and non-business related transaction in all offices, departments of the city government. Pursuant to the joint memorandum circular number 2019-001, series of 2019, entitled Implementing Rules and Regulations of RA 11032, Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service Delivery Act of 2018, and for other purposes. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor.
Second.
Seconded. Objection. Hearing none. Ordinance number 2020-199 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality.
Second.
Seconded.
Councilor Gani would like to mention that the authors, Councilor Guking, Councilor Ian Lamlim, Councilor Edna Dahino, Vice Mayor Renier Joaquin Velez Kikangoy. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And for inclusion, we have items 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and my report 23. Okay, 23 and the 24, Mr. Chairman, is for Barangay Balubal Campus. Move for their inclusion.
For inclusion and seconded. Well, we still have our last session next week.
Gadali sila.
Well, at least so that we don't have any pending proposed ordinances and resolutions. So, Majority Floor Leader, you may now continue.
So number 12, Mr. Chairman, hinayang aircon ni Depita. Proposed ordinance number 2020-200, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Oscar S. Moreno to enter into and sign the Memorandum of Agreement MOA with the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Field Office number 10, represented by Regional Director Marie Flor A. Duliaga Libang, covering the collaboration of the parties in the transfer of funds from the DSWD to the city government, which is intended to fast-track the distribution of the unpaid regular social pension for indigent senior citizens for calendar year 2019 and calendar year 2020. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor. Seconded. Objection. Hearing none. Ordinance number 2020-200 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense. Seconded.
13 is proposed resolution number 2020-264, commending Mr. Emilio Bernaldez of Zone 4, Bulwa, the city, and a laborer at the westbound public terminal for his remarkable honesty, even in his difficult time, by straight away turning over to the police and subsequently to its owner a lost wallet containing 33,900 pesos in cash, which he found at the terminal premises. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor.
Second.
Seconded. This could be the second time around.
Second. Straight 2 weeks.
Okay.
Nagkakabutan.
Nagkakabutan, no? There is a pending proposal. Objection. Resolution number 2020-264 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality.
Second.
Seconded.
Number 14, Mr. Chairman, is proposed ordinance number 2020-201, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Oscar S. Moreno to enter into and sign the executive deed of acknowledgement with the Department of Treatment and Rehabilitation Center, Cagayan de Oro City, represented by its Chief of Hospital, Dr. Binzon C. Go, MD, FFPA, IFAPA, as donee transferee and successor in interest of the National Bureau of Investigation Regional Office number 10, NBO 10, covering Lot 1, identical to Lot H-94337-A, which is the portion of Lot 94337, originally donated by Capital University of the City, located at Maitum, Barangay Puerto, which in turn was donated by the city government to the NBI 10 to then serve as its drug abuse rehabilitation center under the terms and conditions stipulated in the deed of acknowledgement thereto attached. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved. Seconded. Objection. Ordinance number 2020-201 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense.
Second.
15 is proposed ordinance number 2020-202, authorizing the city accountant to charge the sum of 20,000 pesos to the current appropriation of the item maintenance and operating expenses MOE in the 2020 annual budget of the city prosecutor's office to cover payment of the unpaid claim for monthly allowance for the months of June 2015 to September 2015 of Attorney Joan A. Alvarez, pursuant to OPP Misamis Oriental Regional Order number 015-052, dated May 25, 2015, and 015-082, dated September 17, 2015. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor.
Second.
Seconded. Objection. Objection. Ordinance number 2020-202 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Seconded. For its finality.
16 is proposed resolution number 2020-265, returning to the Barangay Council of Balubal, the city, its ordinance number 07 series of 2020, covering its annual budget for calendar year 2020 with an estimated income of 5,828,639 pesos, with information that said ordinance is operative in its entirety. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor.
Second.
Seconded. Objection. Objection. Hearing none. Resolution 020-265 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
For its finality.
Second.
17 is proposed resolution number 2020-266, returning to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Carmen City, its resolution number 033 series of 2020, covering its annual budget for calendar year 2020 with an estimated income of 8,110,654 pesos, with information that said resolution is operative. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor.
Second.
Objection. Objection. Hearing none. Resolution number 2020-266 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Majority floor. The SK Federation President. So I think all the barangay are not yet submitting their Sangguniang barangay budget for their SK officials. May I? Since we are
May
I
hapon,
think
Mr. Chair.
out of 80 barangay,
Yeah.
as I observe,
Yeah.
wala kaabot na pulo.
Under the Republic Act 10742, the SK should be approved their comprehensive barangay youth development and annual barangay youth investment plan. On year 2018, as we assume office, this has a design on how we craft the comprehensive barangay youth plan. But on the year 2020 or in the late 2019, the NYC issued another design or template in crafting the comprehensive barangay youth development plan. In fact, the city budget and even the DBM have already trained our SK officials on the first quarter of this year. But for some reasons that they are also adapting with this new template that they have given to them, they cannot anymore pass their annual budget. Because first, you need to pass your comprehensive barangay youth development plan and annual barangay youth investment plan for 6 years. So starting 2020 up to 2025. So hopefully next year, all the SK officials should pass their comprehensive barangay youth development plan. Because it is clearly stated also under the law that 3 to 6 months from assumption of their office, the SK Council should craft their comprehensive barangay youth development plan. And even it can remove the SK chairperson if non-compliance to it.
Remove.
Remove or suspended.
Okay.
And sangguniang the power
Mhm.
to remove or suspended that SK chairperson. So I hope everybody would, I think their plans are with the city planning, but there are some reversion. Kaya para lugar nga mo complement dito sa template.
But
So,
I hope you have to submit for a concrete decision
mhm,
for what happening or what happened
okay.
at this year end out of 80 barangay. Not
Kamay lang. Murag, I think,
kabot na
ikawalo ra.
pulo. So if you want to remove or we have a penalty for them or sanction, well, 70 of them all will be removed.
Lagi.
Oh, so maybe you have to decide for the next year to come and then to have a concrete decision and issue a circular for them all.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
We are communicating also with the DILG. In fact, the DILG now is pushing for the SK chairpersons to craft that. So thank you and may hapon.
But I think this could be an additional burden for the SK official and so as to the councilor SK Kagawad since they don't have the treasurer or they don't have the financial capability of budgeting. And even the SK Kagawad, they don't have any compensation or any honorarium.
Yes.
So how can they craft an barangay ordinance, especially for the budgeting of their own, if they don't have any employee or they don't have any officials under the local government code? The duly authorized official for the SK is only the SK chairman.
Yeah.
So how can they craft it? So
Yeah, that's the loopholes, Mr. Chair,
oh,
on the
so
SK
you
reform
cannot
law.
comply.
Then lagi the essence of voluntarism lagi daw. But remember, we have here Barangay Carmen. We have 8 million of annual budget. SK alone. But the SK Kagawad Secretary and Treasurer doesn't receive any honorarium for that matter. Ga-disburse ka og pondo, ikaw tresurero, pwede ka mapriso, ne wa pag yung kay madawatan.
So that is why you have to decide. Maybe
But
this could be you cannot comply for barangay for this for like this since they don't have the eagerness to serve at all. Yeah, since they don't have any compensation at all or honorarium at all. Yeah. So that is why you cannot comply.
Yeah.
For them. Who will be the it's mo paninglan ni wa may kauban nimo. So maybe for next year you cannot comply them all. So just see to it that you have to abolish.
okay. Thank
Okay.
you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Councilor John Michael Seno. So properly moved and seconded. Okay, Councilor Romeo Calizo.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. This is related to your comment because
Okay.
definitely not all SK in the different in the 80 barangays can submit the requirements for claiming their annual budget because of one very basic requirement, that is the 6-year development plan. Well, everybody knows that not all the SK chairmen, even their kagawads, are equipped with the technical expertise in preparing plans.
That is why
Much more with a development plan. So I think it should be a plan or an action of the SK Federation to come up with a plan to educate our SK. Because of course, in coordination with our city development office, because they have the technical expertise. Even the different barangays, the barangay chairman and their kagawads are hard up in preparing the 6-year development plan. And that caused the delay in the approval of their budgets, even for, especially for 2020. So how much more with the SK? Most of whom do not really have the experience, the expertise in preparing plans. More so with the development plan, because it's not that easy. Maybe
That is why this is budget.
so budget,
so-
but that is the prime requirement for the budget proposal. So this should be well planned. That is my suggestion, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, okay. Majority Floor Leader.
May I continue the discussion of Councilor General Calizo, who is very inspired today, Mr. Chairman. He's the number one most active legislator today, and I'd like to think that the point that Councilor General Romeo Calizo would like to put across is that if not the capacity and the ability of the SK at the barangay level, it should be the role of the federation. It's a question now of leadership. If, for example, less than 10 only submitted, and today is already December 14.
That is why.
And I do not know if the budget will be still used in the ensuing year, Mr. Chairman. And I would like to think that no fund was spent for the more than 70 barangays, but SK in Cagayan de Oro, because it's not legal to spend without authorization based on the budget of an organization. So in other words, more than 70 SKs or barangays in Cagayan de Oro have not provided the necessary services to the youth in their respective areas of responsibility. I hope this will be taken up in the federation level, Mr. Chairman, because if not, the barangay or the Sangguniang Kabataan, it should be lodged with concentration and focus by the federation, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Majority Floor Leader. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Councilor John Michael Zeno.
I think we have already conducted at least 3 trainings already, Mr. Chair, in crafting their comprehensive barangay youth development plan. Most or bulk of the plannings of our SKs are already submitted at the city planning for the review, because they cannot be given or cannot pass their annual budget if they have lacking comprehensive barangay youth development plan. Sa ako nang gingon kaganina, napundo lagi kay bag-o nga template gihatag ang ato ang national government o ang NYC mismo nagpakanaog. In fact, I manifested the NYC nga nganong apiki ka sila maghatag og bag-o nga template nga mag-adapt na pud ang atong mga SKs unya, considering nga wala man ni mga gawads. But even the pandemic, Mr. Chair, we have conducted trainings to our SK officials in the city.
That is why that could be the question. If you are want to produce them, show it to them that they are belong with that. So how can they have the belongingness if they don't have any compensation or honorarium at all?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why can they participate?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
for the responsibility, also for the responsibility, in that case for the basis for the as official, only the SK official is the officially.
SK chairperson only, Mr. Chair. But
that is why. So how can
I
they,
made already a special report, Mr. Chair, if the city could allow any what you call this maybe a monetary incentives to our SK officials to address this issue, because I received a DILG memorandum signed also by the DBM stating that they cannot be allowed to be given honorariums.
So that is why.
In the barangay, even in the SK funds, they could not be allowed because ang ilang statement dito, Mr. Chair, wala daw gibutang sa RA 10742.
Okay,
Og muna
so-
karon ang atong hagit yun sa atong mga SK officials on how we could participate them. Considering nga naay dako nga nila nga responsibilidad po.
So if that is the case, maybe this annual budget from the SK out of 80 barangay and then not less than 10 who is submitted, maybe by next year around, and at this time, this is already December, so it is a year end, and the one that is submitted is not less than 10. So maybe by next year around, maybe you can abolish this annual budget for the SK, all in all, since they are not participating.
Okay.
So they just in addition to their to their burden on every barangay. So,
thank you.
Barangay number 13. So they said, as I heard our secretary, not out of 80 barangay, wala kaabot na 7 o 9. So kitsa kay participate. So maybe just
pending lang, Mr. Chair.
An open-minded reminder, a simple reminder, for since you are the president of them all. Oh,
Okay. They said, Mayo, Mr. Chairman, ang SK President, sige, investigate sa body sa City Hall. Din puguman, dili niya ka-handle. Ang iyang function, ha? Questions, yeah. Anyway, just a reminder from a senior official, Mr. Chairman, who was in the SK President first in Cagayan de Oro. Okay. Priority. Should be the priority. So the pending motion, Mr. Chairman,
a reminder for a seniority. Okay. Back then, majority floor leader is an SK president also. So, okay, Councilor Roger Abaday, you want to add something?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The issue on honorarium for
we have to stick to the
yes, Mr. Chairman, because
we cannot.
He told it that you cannot compel this SK, especially the council, no honorarium.
Well,
there's no
Councilor
honorarium.
Roger Abaday, we have to stick to the proposed resolution. The question here is not the as proposed, not the honorarium. It is the resolution. So we have to stick to the topic.
Because we are talking about the non-compliance of most of the SK council, Mr. Chairman. Di ba? Discuss.
Stick to the topic. Okay, carry on.
So the SK, Mr. Chairman, these are ages that needs motivation and supervision. The barangay council plays important role on the preparation or the supervision of the SK, regarding their activities and their responsibilities. More so, the federation also will also add premium on this SKs, in order that we can comply with the requirement, because these are budget preparation and their development plan is that is essential, Mr. Chairman, in the barangay, in their barangays, in the community. So needs so much motivation on these ages, in mga SK. How many times? Until such time that they will know their responsibilities. It's not only 1 or 2 or 3 times. Then we have to motivate so much these people, Mr. Chairman, especially that they are under the minds are still immature, not yet fully. So kinahanglan og guidance yun, guidance from the barangay council, and of course the federation also should work out in order to help these people, in this case, official, to accomplish their requirement, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Roger Abaday. There is a pending proposed resolution, properly moved and seconded. Objection? None. Resolution number 2020-2. So 6.6 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality and seconded.
Number 18, Mr. Chairman, is proposed resolution number 2020-2867, returning to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay number 13, this city, its resolution number 003 series of 2020, covering its annual budget for calendar year 2020 with an estimated income of 323,941 pesos, with information that said resolution is imperative in its entirety. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Move. Seconded. Objection. Objection. Resolution number 2020-267. Hearing none. Is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its
Second.
seconded.
19 is proposed resolution number 2020-265, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay number 19, this city, its ordinance number 002 series of 2020, covering its supplemental budget number 1 for calendar year 2020 with an estimated income of 224,037 pesos and 42 centavos. With the information that said ordinance is operative in its entirety. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority.
Second.
Objection. Objection. Hearing none. Resolution number 2020-265 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense.
Second.
20 is proposed ordinance number 2020-203, granting 1 grade salary increase from grade 13 to grade 14 to Miss Luzminda B. Frias, former midwife 3 of the City Health Office, the city who will be retiring from the service on January 6, 2021, pursuant to Section 30 of Republic Act 7305, otherwise known as the Magna Carta of Public Health Workers, and for this purpose appropriating the sum of 12,204 pesos and 84 centavos from the item Personal Services Salary Savings under item number 63, Health Education and Promotion Officer 4, for the period June 1 to 6, 2020, in 2020 annual budget of said office, the city, to be made available for the payment of her 3-month salary differential as a result thereof. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved.
Second.
Seconded. Objection. Objection. Hearing none. Ordinance number 2020-203. Okay. Councilor Edna Magban Dahino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
There is
I
a
just
query.
would like to ask the author if he asked already the CAF, the certification of availability of funds with this, because wala man gud nakaabot sa Committee on Finance and Budget na appropriation, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay. I think there is a document file. Okay.
Good afternoon. Aming
Councilor
hapon ka
Maria
na to.
Lourdes Gan.
Actually, there is already a CAF attached to the. I do not know why naadi na documents on file pero wala naka-attach sa atong inclusion.
That is why I explained. Okay. There is a pending still. Objection. Hearing none. Hearing none. Ordinance number 2020-203 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense.
Second.
Seconded.
21 is proposed ordinance number 2020-194, declaring the Higala online application, Higala app, as the principal highly infectious diseases contact tracing system of Cagayan de Oro City, mandating the use thereof in all establishments and entities, providing penalties for violation thereof and for other purposes. May I give a little message before make a necessary motion, Mr. Chairman? The amendments would cover, kindly flash the amendment.
Well, okay. Thank you, Majority Floor. You may have, but any second. Seconded. Okay. Carry on, Majority Floor. This is deferred from last session.
From last session,
Okay.
in view of the observations of Councilor Bebot Rodriguez, my observation, and some other members, Mr. Chairman. Anyway, on line 183, covering the section 7, we have provided, Mr. Chairman, all customers, visitors, and employees of the public and private establishment shall not be allowed entry unless they present their unique Higala QR code, except on the grounds of emergency cases that require urgent and immediate medical attention, and to non-residents visiting the city, provided that they can present proof of identification and information that they reside outside of Cagayan de Oro City. Such exemption shall, however, be valid only once and within 3 months from the effectivity of this ordinance. And the other section, which is not yet provided in this hard copy, Mr. Chairman, is requiring all malls and similar establishments to post the Higala app procedure as to how to enroll in this Higala app, Mr. Chairman, so that even if they don't have that Higala app, they can already, during on the spot, register with the Higala app, Mr. Chairman, at areas where there are internet connections also. So that would be the modifications that we have provided. And we believe, Mr. Chairman, if we delay this too much, there would be some consequences. We would like to have this kind of ordinance be part of our regulations in Cagayan de Oro, so that there would be no more tawag ni mo, maglista-lista pa, manual information, writing of information while entering a premises, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so in short, each and every one of us must have a
Yes.
QR code.
Especially for Cagayanons. And for
Okay.
those visiting, they will be given enough and ample time, and they can be exempted on certain occasions.
Okay. Properly moved by the majority floor and seconded is there a pending ordinance. Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Okay. Councilor George Gooking. Councilor George Gooking.
Kuan lang ni siya, this is the QR code. Kaya sa Philippine Councilors League, ang QR code i-incorporate sa ID. So wapunta kung mahimo po sa atong local government para di na ta magdala daghan bitaw. So it's just an idea, Mr. Chair, na kung pwede by next year ma-incorporate sa atong ID sa City Hall. Daghang salamat.
Okay, thank you, Councilor George Gooking. Okay, Councilor Romeo Calizo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just like to ask the author if this only the principal apps gusto pasabot na by other apps. Why not just make it the only apps for contact tracing so that we will avoid confusion if there are other apps that will be used, especially by the LGU. In some other cities, this created some confusion because of these so many apps that they're using. That's why in Baguio City, they came up with just only one app. So if we make this as the principal app, but there are other apps, there might be confusions along the way, Mr. Chairman. So I just like to ask the author if this is only the principal app with other sub apps.
Okay.
Thank you. Actually, we're doing the QR code only. We consider that as principal for those residents of Cagayan de Oro entering private and public establishments. But we're still using the contact tracer in our barangay, our barangay health workers, our BNS, and our community development volunteers. So, bale, ang mahitabuan katong nagsulod sa atong mga establishment nga na-scan. So, ang gagamiton ang QR code. Pero sa barangay nga level, we also do that manually. Kaya naaman tayo mga contact tracer nga. Pero that's manual. They do not use the QR code. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maria Lourdes Kaani. Okay, Councilor Roger Abaday.
I just want to raise some point, Mr. Chairman. with regards to the line 183, Mr. Chairman. 183 has been. Now, Cagayan de Oro is a city of golden friendship. We welcome everyone to come here. So, in this pandemic time, people are, and even establishment are suffering from economic reverses, Mr. Chairman, because of COVID-19. Now, here comes the requirement, Mr. Chairman. I do not know if 3 months is enough time to inform outsiders or visitors from Cagayan de Oro to comply with this QR code. Okay, sila sa Cagayan de Oro, pero how about those visitors from, remember Cagayan de Oro is the hub city in Mindanao and other places. Can we accumulate within 3 months to this requirement? And is it not a hostile on the part of the establishment? Because many will be deprived to enter in a public or private establishment without these QR codes. Now, how about those people who cannot afford to buy a camera? Because you need the camera to for these requirements, and the confidentiality of these records, Mr. Chairman. So then another, Mr. Chairman, in page line. That's my first concern, Mr. Chairman. Another is in 229 and up to 223.
Okay, about okay, Councilor Jagawaday,
With regards to penalty, Mr.
as we
Chairman,
proceed, what do you want us to do, or what is your motion for such any recommendation that you mentioned?
I understand, Mr. Chairman, that this was the last session. This was deferred for further study, Mr. Chairman. I think we should have to think it over, Mr. Chairman, before we will pass this ordinance, Mr. Chairman, if there are no, it will not prejudice other the visitors and the establishment, Mr. Chairman. And for those common people who cannot afford to have these gadgets to so material, I think 3 months is it the material time to inform all people coming here Cagayan de Oro that they will be required to have this QR code. May I ask the author if makaya ba sa pag-publicize this requirement that everybody can comply.
Okay, make it a proper motion.
So I move, Mr. Chairman, that this will undergo another study. Why are we hastily passing a ordinance which there are some points that are not conducive, Mr. Chairman, especially to our people coming here in Cagayan de Oro, the mga visitors na to. I know. There are people who will receive a flood of complaints if this will be implemented next year. So, if this may be considered, my move, Mr. Chairman, I think it's better for this ordinance, Mr. Chairman, to undergo a thorough study, Mr. Chairman. And I know that the establishment now are so much compliant with the requirement as far as the health protocol is concerned. They are compliant, Mr. Chairman. That's my, and subject to be studied, Mr. Chairman, also is the penalty. The Supreme Court has already sent guidelines for all courts. Discourage this imprisonment, fine. Gimanduan na ang tanan mga lower courts nga kalma sa mudya og pampriso o pagbay kay lisod ang panahon unya puno na kay imprisuhan sige tag papriso. So kani community service lang ang ilang require kung ibalik sa barangay kung mahimo. Ayaw sa ning mga fines kay lisod kay lagi na panahon.
Okay, you have your point.
That's my
Councilor-
point, Mr. Chairman.
You have your point, Councilor Roger Abaday. So maybe, is that a proper motion or make it a proper motion? You want to have a motion?
I move, Mr. Chairman, that if it is not too much for the author, I know they are working so much, so that we will have a good law, Mr. Chairman, before it is implemented. If it is
So-
not too much, it will not slide for the author. Mahimo ba nga ato sa ning tunarong Mayo para
Okay,
di ba?
so you mean a motion for deferment to further study? Okay, make it any
Councilor
second. Seconded by Councilor Joylene Mercedes Balaba. You want to say something? Okay, before that, any second from the motion of Councilor Roger Abaday,
Second.
Councilor Edgar Cabalas? Okay. Seconded. Okay. Who wants to ask to hear something? Remember that there is a motion for deferment, properly moved and seconded. So wants to say something, Councilor Joylene Mercedes Balaba, and afterwards, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good
Mayong
afternoon,
hapon kanimo konsyala.
tanan. Ipaklaro lang na ako or suggestion siya sa author. Dili man tanan na ay tinuod kung dili tanan na ay mga cellphones. Na ay option dali nga katong walay cellphone, pwede ra sila mangayo og kanang murag ID nga ilang dala-dalahon hard copy para pag na sila QR codes kay dili pod reason nga igno nato nga dili ni pwede himuong balaod kay dili tanan na ay cellphone. Pwede man ta mag-anog option kung walay dili maka.
Okay. Okay, thank you for your insight, Councilor Joylene Mercedes Balaba. Councilor Edgar Cabanlas.
As I always said, when I moved for the deferment of this ordinance last week, I was thinking that we should give in more time to study because of the logistical nightmare of the implementation of this ordinance. I want to listen to the implementers, the executive department. Can they implement? Because we are making or we are supposed to make ordinance that is practical. This is a very discriminatory ordinance, Mr. Chairman. How will the other people from Cotabato, from Davao knew about this ordinance?
That is why.
So it has to be practical and implementable. So I mean, I mean, we have all those protocols, and people are following these protocols. Are there cities and or provinces in the Philippines that is using this ordinance or has passed this ordinance? I could not see any valid reason why. I want to see that this ordinance would be loved by our people, not hated. Everybody is following already the strict protocols. Kaning ordinansa mo og nahimo na kita rin og so na enhance kada bang grabe pa nga oo. Nga ato pang ipag-submit na ng mga taggan king papilis. Galisod na ganito na nagsulod nga, dala na ng mga maskara. Dugangan ta na sa talain nga problema sa mga tao. Dagan na ito ng negosyante na. Sino kay papilis mo silang mutahan? So let's be practical. I hope let us sit on this ordinance. Invite me. Invite the people from the executive department. An establishment. Can they do it? Another burden for them to be flashing all these notices on their doors, on their gates, checking everybody whether they have this Di malimtan mo. Do you know, Mr. Chairman, beloved Vice Mayor, why is it that the national ID, many people are against it? Because this is discriminatory. It will adversely affect the poor. Ang mga kabos na di makibalo din nga balaod. Di malimtan wala sila ID kay tas mas bukid. Di ka na ipakabot dito internet. So, let's study this and invite us also. Para nga mga kabati, aron din ta maglalis din kaya di alone dito na ta sa small gathering among us. May buwan na to ang atong mga sentimiento. Para nga ato kining masulbad kay this is another, for me, uncalled for protocol. Another additional layer of burden to our people. Maka-doubtless mga negosyante. I hope, Malo, your daughter here, please. Nagingunaw ka niya to sa atong last session nga, lita sa study this first. Invite us. Invite us, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Edgar
Mr.
Cabanla.
Chair, Mr. Chair,
Councilor George
Mr.
Booking.
Chair.
Mr. Chairman, I agree with my kumpare, Councilor Edgar Cabandas, nga ang ma-affected po dan ni Mr. Chairman na mga negosyante. The business atmosphere is coming in, but if butang na to mabarani sila, kay maharang man na sa sa atong call, basig di na mga needs kagayan. So I will support the pronouncement of Councilor Attorney Edgar Cabandas nga to give it a further study. Kung pwede, appeal i-konsulta ang business sector, Mr. Chairman. Daghang salamat.
Okay, thank
Mr.
you,
Chair.
Councilor George Booking. Napay
Mr.
face
Chair.
mask, napay face shield, napay... you have your point. Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, the last say from the proponent, Councilor Maria Lourdes Gani.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, I would just like to answer, their queries. For one, regarding sa katong Bisotilag health protocol, this is not one of the health protocols. This is used primarily for contact tracing only. So ang health protocols, non-pharmaceutical interventions is the one we're using now of wearing a face mask, wearing face shield, sanitize ang social distancing, that's it. So the purpose of the QR code primarily is for contact tracing. Now, when you say contact tracing, pa-register, we can register anywhere. Kung dahil galing sa imong own cellphone, pwede ka maka-register. And pwede mo na mabutang mismo sa imong cellphone ang kanang, sabay tawag nila, kanang barcode. Pwede na nimo. Or you can have a hard copy of that para madala-dala nimo. So, muna siya ang akong point nga. Ang ato lang contact tracing, just like what happened kung mayon tag nagkagubot atong last weekend, badaghan naganay diya sa Gaston. If naapay contact tracing, madali na siya matrace. Kay ang mugawas na siya mato sa server dito sa CHO HEMS. And for that day, makita na kung kinsa tong nagamit anang adlaw, asa ka nagpaingon. Like for example, ako personally, nagamit adto ko sa SM. Tapos after which, at 2 p.m. And 4 p.m. nag-aasulod na ko sa line establishment sa matrace na sa atong QR code. So, kung yung tag-confidentiality, it's the same thing as stay safe. It's just lang locally lang ni sa ato. Kay para ang access nato nga makuha nato ang data, diretso na. Kay if we use the stay safe na app, it will take time pa kay we have to ask for permission sa national government. Pero whereas kung QR code locally lang na siya. Sa CHO HEMS lang, makuha na dayon ang data kung kinsa to. So ang ako lang, if this was referred to the Committee on Laws and Rules last week, sa Councilor Ian, if napay mga lain, so be it to ato kung kailangan nato ni siya i-meet again. So ako lang,
Okay,
lagyan na siya. We still have
maybe you can invite all the councilor about that. And just to address for the passerby from different cities
Ay, okay.
that wants to enter in
Okay.
Cagayan de Oro, since they don't have any knowledge about this.
Okay, actually, for the information of
program.
everybody, the City Tourism and the City Information and Management Office has been orienting our private establishment since July of this since July. And this has already been disseminated through our Facebook account sa city nga kailangan nato yung QR code. In fact, to enter Cagayan de Oro, in fact, honestly, my friends from Bukidnon are already asking how to register. And I don't think inana inana kung kay you can register once you enter before. Just like what Councilor Ian Nakaya suggested na pwede ibutang din na sa establishment kung saan ang steps mag-register. Kung wala ka naka-register, you can register right there and then. So inana ka para lang ang atong access sa makakwanta sa atong contact tracing makuha nato. Pwede man kung wala ka naka-register and you're from Davao or something, then you came.
So they have already any other means or another instrument required for the business sector for the reading of that QR code. So
actually, sir,
there is an additional cost for it.
Actually,
Computer.
Actually, sir, the City Tourism and the City Management Information, I have here, I asked Sir Dimbo to come here. If it's okay na, they have been going around the city for the past 6 months to orient our establishment regarding this. And they've been doing that. In fact, mula gini siyang nitabo na wala pa tay ordinance, pero ang uban nato nga establishment are already implementing. Pero we should not be, kaya wala pa man na-approve ang ordinance. Kaya they're already aware na we will get into our QR code na application.
Okay. Thank you,
Mr.
Councilor
Chair.
Maria
Mr.
Lourdes.
Chair.
There is a pending motion for
Mr.
deferment
Chair.
and duly
Mr.
seconded.
Chair.
Is there any objection? Objection. So there is none. Ordinance number 2020-194 is deferred.
To the Committee of Origin, Mr. Chairman, it will be referred.
To the Committee on Health. Okay, the committee chairman, other than Councilor Maria Lourdes Gani, is deferred to your committee. And invite them
Just invite
as well.
other members. Number 22, Mr. Chairman, is
So as
proposed.
it's not okay before majority. It is not also the right timing for this Christmas season. Okay, majority floor leader Ian Mark Tublat-Nakay, you may now proceed.
Thank you. For 22 is proposed resolution number 2020-268, returning to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay number 32, the city. It's resolution number 003 series of 2020, covering its annual budget for calendar year 2020 with an estimated income of 382,803 pesos, with information that said resolution is operative in its entirety. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor. Any second?
Second.
Objection? Objection. Is there any? There is none. Resolution number 2020-269 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense.
Second.
Seconded.
Okay. For 23, Mr. Chairman, is proposed resolution number 2020-270, earnestly requesting his honor, City Mayor Oscar Escoreno, through the acting City Administrator Teodoro A. Sabuga Jr. to consider the provisional use of OR code Higala app system in lieu of the biometric machine device in checking the attendance of employees of the city government of Cagayan de Oro as a preventive measure against the spread of COVID-19 in City Hall and in other offices, departments of the city. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, properly moved. Maybe in line with this from the proposal of Councilor Maria Lourdes Gani, but this could be limited
This
to
is different.
our institution.
Actually, it has been used already, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Not for the entirety, but only City Hall.
100%
much better.
Cagayanos
100% Cagayanon, registered Cagayanon, the employees. Okay. Properly moved, the majority floor, any second, objection, hearing none. Resolution number 2020-270 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality.
Seconded.
The next resolution, Mr. Chairman, is our resolution expressing the city's thanks and gratitude to the USTP President Ambrosio Cultura and USTP Cagayan de Oro Chancellor, Attorney, kindly supply the name, Turks, and for the conduct of the research study on poverty alleviation program of Cagayan de Oro City for fishing and farming communities, and the opening of a campus in the Barangay Balubal. Mr. Chairman, move for its approval subject to styling.
Properly moved with the majority floor. Any
Second.
Seconded. Objection. Hearing none. Resolution number 2020-271, subject for styling, as mentioned by the majority floor leader for its content.
Albino. Attorney Albino.
Is hereby approved.
Move
its
to
finality.
dispense second final reading.
Second.
Seconded.
There being no more item pending, move to adjourn.
Session adjourned.
Yay.